walking a path that's completely unique to you and following a calling or a feeling inside that you know you're here to live out can be confusing at times, right? It can be quite disheartening as well, especially if things are taking time to come into fruition or you're not quite clear on what the path is, right? Sometimes we feel something within, we feel this calling, we feel this purpose and passion, yet putting the foundations in place and having the approach clear it's not always clear, and that can be confusing. It can be disheartening, and when you can feel it within, but this is the case, you've got that confusion and uncertainty on where to go and how to take this path. It can be kind of a hard position to be in, right? And you have the motivation at times, and you have the clarity to know what that thing is and how to do it. But this can pass, and then other times you're in your feels a bit more and you're feeling it all a bit more, and that can be tough, right? It can be kind of, sometimes you just want to hold your heart and think, bless me, bless me. And if you're walking a path and you're following a calling, you're following a purpose, but you're in this position where it's not clear and it's not easy, and you're unsure if and how and where you should go, just keep going. That's all we can do. That's all we can do, right? It's all we can do is just keep going. And it's a beautiful thing in the first place that you have that essence, that feeling, that spark to know that you're here to do something maybe different or unique to yourself. And it might take some stepping out, it might take some overcoming some hurdles, and this in itself is a hurdle. Losing clarity or confidence or losing certainty on what that path is and how you're going to do it and if you should do it is a hurdle in itself, right? And they come along the journey of walking the path of what your true self is, right? Or what you feel you're here to do is. These moments come up. They surely have for me, and it can be moments where you just feel like, something inside of you shouting quite strong that this is what I'm doing, this is how I'm going to do it, and this is what I'm going to do. Yet walking that path, you're going to be faced with doubt, you're going to be faced with uncertainty and moments where you're just not sure. It can be confusing, it can be quite lonely, especially if you're holding this within. Yet all we can do is nurture this knowing, nurture this vision, and accept that we don't have all the answers yet, and that's fine, right? That's okay. And the nights where you just feel this feeling that I'm talking about are all part of the journey. And although it's cliche when we hear it's all about the journey, it really, really is, right? I know from projects that I've had in the past where I've reached a certain goal that I had in mind, and I look back and think, wow, it was definitely in the journey, just on a small scale. It was definitely all the days and nights that led up to me achieving that goal, where the fun was, when I hadn't quite achieved it. So I know that it's all about the journey, and this is why these moments of doubt, uncertainty and confusion, maybe fear, the hurdles to overcome on nights or days where you're just feeling a bit lost. You're on your mission, you know what your mission is, there's something within you that needs to come out, that needs to be walked, but you're feeling a bit lost on that path. This is part of the journey, and we've just got to nurture that. We've got to nurture that vision and take it as a blessing that we've even got that vision and knowing in the first place, right? And also accept that we don't need to have all the answers. We do just need to put one foot in front of the other and allow life to pull us in the direction we need to be. Allow the answers to come just through starting. It can be confusing, it can be lonely, and it can be kind of a deep process to keep breaking through and keep putting yourself on a path when you haven't got the answers yet, or you haven't quite got the know-how, and maybe you're yet to get the feedback loop of positivity or feedback of something working for you, a certain path working, a certain decision working. It might be that you have a certain art to give to the world, but you're struggling to get it out. You don't know what approach to take to get it to the world, or maybe it's a certain sound in you that you're trying to, you've got within you, but putting the footsteps in place to actually bring that project to life can feel like a mountain. And sometimes these are, sometimes these are life mountains that we're here to walk that path and slowly climb the mountain. But recognize that along the way, we can't lose ourselves and we can't lose hope. We've got to hold on to joy in life, and we're here to have fun. And in this day and age, and with everything that's going on and all depending on what stage you're at in your life as well, there's a lot of harshness, and that's okay. There's a place for it, there's a place for it, but we also are here to have fun, to have joy, and to not get lost and not to lose ourselves along the way, and not lose those that we love and those that bring us that joy along the way. And with your own path, when you've lost clarity or you're going through moments of doubt and you're unsure and you're confused on what the path's going to be, just keep going. Just simply keep going. That's all we can do. And I know for me, I'd rather live a life where I'm walking a path that feels like a calling, something that I've got to work out, something that's a bit deeper, but something that's authentic and true to me. I'd rather look back when I'm older and think, at least I walked that path. With success or with no success, at least I walked that path and I explored it. I'd rather that than never quite taking those first footsteps and never quite taking and embarking on that journey. And I'm sure you would as well, you know. Hold yourself in that, you know, and give yourself some love in that, and to the fact that you know that you're here to do something different or special or unique. And in these moments of uncertainty, be kind to yourself, you know, and all we can do is hold the vision and let life show us the way to go, you know. It's okay that we don't have all the answers, but the answers will come just by keep going. And then sure, you'll be back in a moment of full clarity again, full inspiration. You'll get pulled in a certain direction. You might meet someone, you might have these mini breakthroughs, or you will have mini breakthroughs. And these mini breakthroughs over time make a huge difference. And it's another burst of progression and everything else. But yeah, best note, you're also going to have times where you're back in a bit of confusion, a bit of doubt and questioning how to go about things, where to go with things, and if you're doing the right things. Life's not linear, is it? You know, we go through these ups and downs and it's all part of it. And it's that make us feel the joy and fulfillment when we do have these mini wins, you know, when we do have success, or we do reach a certain point in a certain field that we absolutely love. And we reap all the benefits of that feedback when we get there, right? But it means so much because we have days like this when you're unsure, you're uncertain, and you've had to break through. You've had to keep going even without clarity, even with doubt, even with maybe not a lot of support, you know. But the fact that you feel something within that's deep, that's real, that's true. Sure, it might be hard, but the fact that you feel that is a beautiful thing. You know, that's your life force, that's your spark, that's the fire in the belly that kind of is telling you that there's something there to give, and you've got that not anyone else has got. You know, it's something that you've got that no one else has got, and even those that are in that same field as you, they haven't got what you've got, and we have to remind ourselves this. And this is why it's worth going regardless of success and everything else, just to keep exploring the passions, the loves, the callings. We're here on earth with these things in us, and it's a gift to follow them. So on the days when you're losing faith or clarity, or you're confused and you're feeling it quite deep, just keep going and hold that vision and nurture that vision, you know. And you'll experience the ups and the downs, and on the ups you'll look at the down days and think, it all makes sense. But of course, when you're on the down days, none of it makes sense. And that's why all you can do is keep going. That's all we can do is just keep going. And you'll look back on your life and be proud and pleased that you did explore that path, that calling, that knowing. Sometimes we know without knowing what it looks like, or we know what it looks like without knowing the journey, the steps to get there. And this can be a lonely path, right? This can be a lonely journey because it's not always something that you can express to others, you know, even those that know you the best. Sometimes it's hard to find words for something that you feel so deep within, and something that in many ways can sound quite simple. You know, you can say, yeah, but I want to do this and I'm on this path of doing this. But in the days and the nights where you're feeling the doubt and the confusion, it's a burning desire, it's a burning calling that it's hard to find words for, you know, to know the certain approach, or to find the right people, or the right way to go about things where you can bring that vision to life. It can be deep, it can be lonely, but just keep going. Hold that vision and know you're worthy of it, and it will make sense. Whatever you're struggling with right now, you could even wake up in the morning and it will make more sense. This is the way it goes. We're dealt the energy of the day, we're dealt our own energy of the day, and sure, you can overcome it, you can change it, you can work with it, but also sometimes it is just a matter of fact of another day is going to bring clarity. You know, something else will bring something that you haven't got right now, and then that will push you on. Just keep putting good energy into the things that you love. Keep putting energy into your calling, and be consistent enough so you don't fall by the wayside and completely lose vision. You know, nurture that vision, hold it close, and you'll get there. You'll get there no matter how long it takes. And it doesn't matter how long it takes, because because it's all about the journey. And as I said, we will look back and we will thank ourselves that we took that journey. We embarked on that journey of knowing that there's things within us that we can explore, and there's things within us that we can birth to the world for ourselves and for others to enjoy and to learn from and to help each other. And it's a path worth taking, although it won't be easy, and it's not always going to be easy. There will be days where it is hard or confusing. And the confusion itself can be deep. That can be quite something to hold when you can feel it within, but you're confused on what to do exactly and how to do it. But just keep going, give yourself breaks when you need it, and run. It's like sprint like a lion and rest like a lion, Creativity's like that, make the most of it when you've got it, and in the meantime rest and just keep taking small steps forward on that path for you, and it will make more sense, or the next step will make sense in time, and you can take it when you know it. And rather than do nothing, nurture the vision, hold on to the vision, align yourself with that vision, and do the things that are going to help you on that path. And this will give you life, this will give you positivity, this will feed you in a positive way. That's the other thing. When we're in doubt and confusion of what the next step is for our true self or our calling, look after yourself, but also do the things that fuel you in a positive way, right? That give you passion, that give you more drive, that give you fulfillment in a small way, and that are going to keep you on track to actually live out that path, that journey, that calling. As I said, it's not being unsure what the calling is. Sometimes we know there's something within. It's just along the journey we can lose direction, lose answers, lose clarity on how to navigate it, essentially. So build strong foundations for yourself. Do the things that fuel you in a positive way, so you've got all the energy and the life force to keep walking this path. And sure, there'll be moments of doubt and uncertainty, but there'll also be a nurtured vision there that you're holding on to, that means you can ride the wave of the days of the ups and downs. And know that you're worthy of it, and just keep going. That's all we can do, is just keep on going. Look after yourself, take it easy, but also hold that vision and nurture it, and love yourself, love yourself, and be proud that you've got this feeling within that you can walk out, no matter how tall the mountain or long the journey. Keep going.